the basic things are growing food and preparing food together and collectively eating it, which is just as much an important part of the whole food cycle as the actual enjoyment and bringing people together around.
I am really happy and excited that you're here. My name is Erica, or Erika, with a K, so I can write that out. So you can pronounce it either of those two ways. I'll go a bit into my story and the reason why I like pronouncing it Erika a little bit later. But I'm really happy to have you here and welcome you to the Scott Community Food Center's Green Room. We lovingly call this the Green Room. There's one program at Youth Academy person that called us, and called us the Green People. I love it. These are the city green beans, but this is not green bins. This is not city compost. You know how at home, maybe, if you live in single-family homes, or you will have these green bins? We don't give this to the city. We make our own compost. So the city compost has a different process, which I won't go into on film, but they use it for other purposes. They allow other things in there that we do not allow. Our compost bin set areas out here. We mix the green material of that with brown material, which includes the paper towel we put into it, but also dry hay and dried leaves. So we put it into our compost bins out there, and we turn it because it needs to be turned, and we aerate it with a little twisty thing that puts air into it. Compost needs to be not anaerobic, which means it's almost dying. It needs to be alive, kept alive as it's breaking down into beautiful, rich compost that it becomes. We then mix that compost with coir. Does anyone know what coir is? So we mix our compost with this coir. This is a like condensed brick of it. This is coir is coconut husk. So the shell of the coconut is put together and made into this. We then put this into water, let it expand, and break it down and mix it with the compost. We also have vermicomposting, which I think you guys do at the Y, right? Yeah. So you guys know all about the worms. We probably will be working with the worms. We'll see, right, how it goes, what things. In the greenhouse, I like to plan what we're going to do, but the greenhouse in the garden changes from day to day, depending on what other groups have done earlier. The tasks might change. So I will try to prioritize stuff for us to do that's needed in the greenhouse, right? Like if there's seedlings, which I hope there is when we have our session, we will start seedlings. So then you know you will have started something that will go off to different communities, right? I think it's kind of exciting. So coir, we use this because a lot of times potting soil is made with peat moss, which we sometimes do buy as well. And peat moss is not a renewable resource. Coconut husk is. So it's still brought from other countries. Has to be transported, but we think if, we kind of balance it out, we think it's slightly better for the environment. This is, you might notice, hopefully we'll see this. This is our oyster mushroom experiment. This wasn't here last year. So there isn't a lot going there, but we can peek in anyway if you want to. We have burlap and then hay and then spores from the oyster mushrooms. Right now there's only a few that have come out that are kind of dry. It needs to be kept quite moist actually and humid in order to grow. But it's kind of cool. Hopefully over the time that we come, we can either I'll harvest some or we'll harvest some and we can see the new growth. You can see some, but they're a bit dry. Yeah, this is really cool. We just started this just a few months ago. Because we don't always get to see mushrooms growing, right? So it's super cool. I love, like, oh my gosh. Hopefully when we make pizza, we'll have some mushrooms.
One thing I want to say is, how will shovel and spoon help benefit children or adults in any way?
Shovel and spoon because it takes that holistic model of both the preparing and growing the food and preparing the food, sometimes even the food that we're growing. I think it's important for us to be more connected to our food as children, as adults, as youth, as entire communities, because then we'll eat better. We will enjoy all the benefits of food, not just the nutritional benefits, but all the added benefits, right? The cultural benefits from it, the communal benefits, and I think we'll have healthier communities and healthier individuals. I'm going to encourage you to look again at how you're cutting. I'm noticing some people aren't holding the knives this way. This way. Without your finger here, like this. I'm encouraging everyone to look at their fingers. Stop. Look at your fingers. I'm still seeing this or this. More control this way. Thumb. And what's this? Is this the index finger? Oh yeah, it's the index finger. So the tostada, it is basically, usually it's a fried tortilla. This is a baked tortilla. I try to do everything a little bit healthy. So it's a baked tostada. Tortilla is a flat orange bread. It's made with corn dough, flattened out. And the traditional way is mixing this, like I said, with patat, and then grinding it by hand or in an industrial grinder. So I'm going to model how I would eat the tostada. You're welcome to eat it any way you want. But I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to put some on. I like it extra spicy, so I did chop up some extra jalapenos. And I harvested some kale from the greenhouse, and we prepared it with a little bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper, so it has a slightly different flavor. I'm going to put that on top. And then we grew some sunflower spreads specially for us. This is also from our greenhouse. Oh, I know this is like. And I know a lot of people like cheese, so in Mexico we usually use a special kind of cheese for this, but I found a good substitute. I use feta cheese. This is cow feta, so I'm going to sprinkle just a tad on top. It mimics the flavor of the cheese that we use for tostadas in Mexico often. And finally, because I know a lot of people like cheddar cheese, I add extra cheddar cheese. So I'm going to put that on top too. And I know this is getting pretty full. Finally, the final little piece that I like to put, this is called salsa verde, green sauce. And it's tomatillos. It's those green tomatoes, Mexican tomatoes that have a husk on them. Like a natural kind of skin, outside its skin. It looks almost like paper. Jalapenos and garlic. It's not too spicy, but I would just, in case you're sensitive to spice, just put a little bit. I like it really spicy, but there's extra jalapenos if you want it a bit spicier. And very excited to have you guys from the technology class in the Youth Academy participating. And I'm sure you'll love the shovel and spoon session. We'll be making pizza together from scratch. We'll be in the greenhouse, hopefully in the garden when it's warm enough. And yeah, how about you? Why are you here?
Well, I'm actually here to film. But I also came here to eat and look at the nutritional benefits of all the food that you brought in the greenhouse.
Yeah. And for example, today we ate 3 foods that are grown in our greenhouse. Sunflower sprouts, kale, and cilantro.